Fast X. In 2011, Dante Reyes, the child of medication master Hernan Reyes, endeavors to stop Dominic Dom Toretto and Brian O'Connor from taking the vault containing the fortune of his dad. Notwithstanding, Dom utilizes the vault to slam Dante's turreted SUV into the sea. However, Dante gets by and swears vengeance against Dom. Subsequent to halting the transfer of Venturaries, Dom keeps bringing up his child Brian Littleby Marcos with his significant other Letty Ortiz. Afterward, they are visited by Roman Pierce, Tej Parker, Ramsey, Hanlu and Dom's grandma Abuelita Toretto for a family gathering. After the get-together, the group are doled out for another mission in Rome, where Dom and Letty choose to remain behind. That evening, cyber-terrorist Code shows up at Dom's home in the wake of being deceived by her group that united with Dante, as the last option coerce them with dangers to kill their families. Figure cautions him that Dante is after his family and they are at serious risk. The following day, Little No One shows up to arrest Code and affirms to Dom and Letty that Code came clean with them, yet he likewise lets them know that he never relegated a mission to the group. Understanding that they were shipped off Dante's snare and unfit to speak with them, Dom and Letty travel to Rome to protect the group. In Rome, the group is detained in a truck constrained by Dante, containing a delayed bomb set to detonate. Dom and Letty show up to help the group by figuring out how to stop the truck, yet the bomb is delivered through the roads, causing disorder across the way, where Little No One is nearly killed by a bomb that Dante embedded in his vehicle. Having no opportunity to deactivate the bomb, Dom takes it to the stream to keep it from arriving at the Vatican. However, Dom figures out how to make it happen. The bomb detonates and an incredible area of the city is obliterated. Dom and his group are faulted for the obliteration and become global outlaws, with Letty being captured while the remainder of the group figures out how to get away. Amaze, the new head of Mr. No One's association, accepts that Dom's team is liable for the assault and starts a manhunt to catch them. In Los Angeles, a unique powers group shows up to take Little B, who was under the consideration of Dom's sister Mia. Before long, they are joined by Dom's sibling Jacob, having been reached by Dom, and overwhelms the crew. Jacob heads out in different directions from Mia, taking Littleby to safeguard him. Mr. No One's girl Tess, who is persuaded of Dom's blamelessness, involves God's Eye to track down him in a bar. Tess uncovers Dante's character and cautions him that Amaze is pursuing them. Dom goes to Rio de Janeiro to face Dante, while Tess goes to the jail where Letty is being held to intentionally twisted her and sent her to have her injury treated, under Dom's solicitation. At Rio de Janeiro, Dom stands up to Dante, where he provokes him to a race. They are joined by other two road racers, Diogo, a companion of Dom's, and Isabel Neves, the sister of Littleby's mom Elena Neves, whom Code killed. During the race, Dante lets Dom know that he embedded two bombs in the two vehicles of different racers and that he should pick who will save. Diogo is killed by the blast, however Dom saves Isabel's life before the bomb detonates, halting to help Isabel while Dante comes out on top in the race. The next day, Dom shows up at one of Dante's detainment facilities and understands that his family has been being looked for quite a long time. Dom gets a call from Dante promising to kill his family, while Amaze shows up with his crew and captures Dom. In London, the remainder of Dom's group find that their financial balances were hacked, leaving them poor, with the exception of the dollars that Roman was stowing away. While looking for provisions, they before long discover that whoever hands them over to the specialists would get a monetary compensation in the large numbers. With practically no decision, the group are compelled to meet Deckard Shaw and ask him for help. Shaw is at first hesitant to acknowledge, however before long consents to help them, subsequent to discovering that his mom is a criminal for aiding Dom. While Dom is being arrested, Amaze and his group are before long gone after by Dante's hired fighters. Amaze combine efforts with Dom to battle them, while Dom before long begins to battle Dante. Anyway, this was uncovered to be a snare as Dante has seized Isabel. Tess shows up to help Dom, yet is injured by an expert sharpshooter recruited by Dante and takes God's Eye, which he uses to pursue Brian in Portugal. Dom figures out how to save Isabel as Dante gets away from in a helicopter. Ispiel takes Tess to the medical clinic while Amaze, perceiving Dom's guiltlessness, consents to help him. The remainder of Dom's team additionally understands that Dante has God's Eye and goes to Portugal to stop him. Showing up at Portugal, Jacob and Little B are pursued by a gathering of hired fighters, where the two at first figure out how to overwhelm them. Nonetheless, Dante figures out how to abduct Little B. Dom shows up at Portugal to safeguard Brian, where he is faced by the excess hired fighters. Understanding that his sibling is going to be killed and having his stock tank split the difference, Jacob penances himself to kill the excess hired soldiers and give sufficient time for Dom to protect Little B. Subsequent to obliterating 2 helicopters, Dom can safeguard Little B just to be defied by 2 trailers that they plan to crash trying to kill Dom. The plane with Dom's leftover group additionally shows up, however is subsequently obliterated by Amaze, who is uncovered to have been working for Dante constantly, obviously killing them. With no decision, Dom and Little B scarcely escape by leaping off the dam. Dante uncovers that he embedded bombs on the dam determined to annihilate them, guessing that Dom would circumvent, having concentrated on each step that Dom would take. Letty is taken to a mysterious medical clinic jail to have her injuries treated, where she before long tracks down Code. However, the two at first draw into battle. They begin to cooperate and discover that they are in Antarctica. The two break and soon they are safeguarded by Giselle Yasher, having endured tumbling off the plane after her penance to save Han. In a mid-credit scene, during a mission with a few employable specialists, Luke Hobbs gets a call from Dante, who uncovers that given Dom just crashed his dad's vehicle, and Hobbs was the person who shot Hernan dead, Hobbs will be Dante's next focus after Dom.